Good morning, my dear participants. Good morning, sir. Gulshan Singh Bis, sir. Sir, good morning, sir. Am I audible? Sir, Gulshan, sir. Good morning, sir. Sir, good morning, sir. Gulshan Bis, sir. Sir, please connect with your audio. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir, Gulshan Bis, sir, for joining with us. Sir will be taking today the topic on how to set up an MSME, government formalities, rules and regulations, etc. Mr. Gulshan Bis, sir, is an assistant director for MSME. Sir is BE Electronics and Communications from University of Mumbai. Sir is working as an currently working as an assistant director in the electronics from 2016 under Indian Enterprise Development Services, IEDS, at the Office of Development Commissioner for MSME, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise. Sir is posted as MSME Development Institute, Hyderabad. Sir has a current portfolio in charge for electronic section and IP cell at MSME DI Hyderabad, and sir is also an IPR nodal officer for MSME Telangana and MSME nodal officer for Sangareddy, Siddipet and Medak district. Sir is a nodal officer for procurement through government, e-marketplace, that is GEM, and sir is a business consultant for EDC cell officer and officer in the National Task Force in the Electronics constituted by the Office of the Development Commissioner MSME from July 15th, 2021 onwards. And apart from this, sir has also previously worked as the position and navigation engineer from 2007 to 2016 at Fungro Survey, Abu Dhabi and Netherlands and Baku. Sir has also have an exposure in the technologies like DGNSS, INS positioning system, underwater positioning, USBL and global acoustic positioning system, single beam and multi beam echo sounders, side scan sonars, magnetometers, motion sensors, etc. I am very much privileged, sir, to be introduce you to this session. I would like to hand over to you, sir. Over to you, sir. Gulshan, sir,
Yes, ma'am. Thank
for
you
the
so much.
session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Padma, for the wonderful introduction. Good morning to all the participants. It's my pleasure to be here representing Ministry of MSME and explaining to the participants. I think most of them are faculty,
Yes,
I
sir.
hope. Yes, so they could start business, and I think some of them would be doing business, some business, service industry or something, So this session, I want to explain you about, a small business, SME business, called as micro, small, medium enterprise, and how you start it, and what are the compliances, the procedures which you need to adhere to, and most of it can be done online, but through your laptop you can do it. So I'll just share my screen and get on with it. Yeah, so I would like to start with the schemes by our ministry for MSMEs, for small businesses, which will also tell about the policies, what is MSME, definition or legal definition of MSME, what is the certification you have to do, registration you have to do for MSME. So I hope my presentation is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is visible, sir.
Okay. So now why the focus on MSME? Because government of India is targeting to achieve $5 trillion economy, and for that MSME has a major role to play. So that is why government has come up recently in the recent few years, a host of schemes for MSMEs. So it and the compliances also have become minimal, and most of them are self-declaration. You have to do online without any inspection. You get the certificate. Only in case you if you uh, violate certain norms, some complaint is raised against you in your industry, only then the inspection happens, and then penalties you have to pay. Otherwise, it's the minimal inspection. So what is the, I'll just full screen it. So 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 this is the vision of our ministry. So a sustainable development of globally competitive micro, small, medium enterprises as an engine of growth for the Indian economy. And our ministry's role is to design policies, and it promotes, facilitates programs, projects, and schemes, and monitors their implementation with a view to assisting MSMEs and help them scale up. And it assists the state, because state they have a major role to play um, in the industrial development of that particular state. So financially support the state in their schemes. So this is our organizational chart. You can see development commissioner for MSME. At this, let me minimize this. Is interfering with my screen. Zoom control panel. Okay. Okay. The presentation is still, you can see it, right?
Yes, sir. We are able to see, sir.
And the slides are changing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have the Office of Development Commissioner, which is at the ministry at New Delhi, and under which we have this MSME Development Institute, 32 in number, and recently few additional have come up. So these are spread all across India, and each state having at least one MSME Development Institute. Then we have MSME Testing Center, which conducts tests, of samples and provides test certificate for MSMEs. And then under MSME Development Institute, we have branch MSME Development Institutes, and under MSME Testing Center, we have testing stations. We have one MSME Development Institute at Balanagar for Telangana state in Hyderabad, and one MSME testing station at Sanat Nagar. And then we have autonomous bodies such as tool room. We have one tool room in Hyderabad, that is Central Institute of Tool Design, which is located opposite to our office, MSME Development Institute. And we have technology development centers and Center for Footwear Training Institute, and we have extension centers. We also have, which is not directly under the Office of Development Commissioner, but comes under the Ministry of MSME, our Khadi Village Industries Commissioner and Khadi Village Industries Board. Plus, there is something called as National Small Industries Corporation. So these are also autonomous body. So NSIC we have in Hyderabad at the main branch of NSIC is at ECIL, Kushaiguda, and for KVIC is located at NIMSME, National Institute for MSME, which is also under the Ministry of MSME. It's the only institute all across India. Their objective is to conduct training programs for MSMEs. So they specialize in that. And so our institute name was last year it was changed from MSME Development Institute to MSME Development and Facilitation Office. So now it is called as MSME Development and Facilitation Office. So we are primarily involved in the promotion of MSME and in the development and promotion. So now what is MSME? When you talk about micro, small, medium, and what is the legal definition of MSME? So the legal definition of MSME is based on their investment in plant and machinery or equipment and their annual turnover. So in MSME, M stands for micro, S stands for small, and then M stands for medium enterprises. So E stands for enterprises. So there was a gazette notification published during the COVID period on 26 June 2020. And the classification is if the investment in plant and machinery for manufacturing enterprise or equipment, investment in equipment for service enterprise is not more than 1 crore, and the annual turnover of the enterprise does not exceed rupees 5 crore, then it falls in the micro category of MSME. And if the investment is above 1 crore but not more than rupees 10 crore, and the annual turnover is above 5 crore but not more than 50 crore, then it falls under the small category of MSME. And if the investment is more than 10 crore but not more than 50 crore, and the turnover is above 50 crore but less than 250 crore, and it falls in the medium category of the MSME. So this is the micro, small, medium legal definition. So if most of the startups, they would be micro, because their investment would be less than 1 crore and turnover is obviously zero, for that starting year. So this there is a self-declaration, online self-declaration you have to do, and a certificate is generated. Using that certificate, you can avail the benefits of various MSME schemes. So MSME schemes are by our ministry, as well as there are schemes, by various other central government as well as state government departments. So everywhere you have to use that certificate. And one thing I would like to mention over here is when you talk about the investment in plant and machinery, you have to only consider the core plant and machinery, which is used to convert your raw material into the final product. So that would constitute your plant and machinery. You would have diesel generator, dies, molds, fixtures, other things, but those would not count into your plant and machinery. Furnitures and transport vehicles, these are not part of your plant and machinery. It is as per the IT returns you file, there is a write down value, and you mentioned the plant and machinery specifically in that, so that write down value is used for calculating this 1 crore, 10 crore, 50 crore limit. And the turnover, annual turnover, is only the domestic turnover, not the export turnover. So most of the industries, they fall in micro, small, medium enterprises. So what is the certification? The certification is an online certification, Udyam registration certification, and the only website where you can do it is udyamregistration.gov.in. So this is the only official website to do it. When you go to internet and you try to do this registration certificate, you will get a lot of third-party websites, in the search results, and you may go into that, but you cannot do them registration over there, only on this website. They may collect data from you, your data, and you have to pay some fees, and ultimately they will use this portal. So this is free of cost, and it is on self-declaration basis. In the second session, I would demonstrate how to do them registration certificate, so that it is quite easy. Once you see an overview of it, you will be able to do it, and you don't need to go to any consultant to do it. And so everything is self-declaration over here. Only your Aadhaar card will be verified. Aadhaar number will be verified through OTP, and PAN number will be verified, and other things will be self-declaration basis. So what are the benefits? So permanent registration. Once you do it, it is done. And then when you file your IT returns, submit and GST returns, automatically it will capture the data and reclassify you. If you cross the scale of MSME, micro, small, or medium, it will put you in that. And it's a basic identification number, just like our Aadhaar card, for businesses, for an enterprise. And there is no need for renewal of it. And it is integrated with several portals, which offers MSME schemes. For example, Samadhan portal, it's a delayed payment resolution portal, because MSMEs often suffer due to delayed payment of their supplies. So this is Samadhan portal, where you can file cases against buyer, who are delaying your payment. And then there is a trades portal, wherein it's a trade receivable e-discounting system. I'll explain you later. It's a bill discounting system, but it is online. And then there is it is also integrated to GEM portal. GEM is nothing but a government e-marketplace. It's just like Amazon, Flipkart, this e-commerce market for government buyers. So all the governments buy through GEM. And then there is also a central public procurement portal. So that is also a buying portal for central government departments, PSUs. Then MSMEs are also classified into priority sector lending from banks, just like agriculture sector. So the loans, when banks are disbursing, an MSME application, loan application is given preference over other loan applications. And lot of other schemes from Ministry of MSME and various other departments, so all those benefits you can get through this Udyam registration once you have this certificate. So this is the basic certificate. To start your business, you can do this Udyam registration. And even if you haven't started production, or you are planning to start, then you can file this, and you can mention over there that you have not commenced business. And this is the basic certificate. You can go to the bank. They will ask you if you want to open a current account over there, or you want to apply for a loan. They will ask for this certificate. And besides this certificate, there are various other compliances. For example, GST. So for most of the business, for example, you are manufacturing goods, selling goods, then if you cross 40 lakh turnover, then you have to file GST. And also on e-commerce platform, if you want to sell on e-commerce platform, irrespective of turnover, you should file, you should get a GST number. So that is other thing. And then there is also the legal form of business, which you have to do. If you are starting small, you can start with an unregistered company. You can go with a proprietorship company, but later on, if your business scope is expanding, then you should go for a formal registration with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So I'll tell you that also later on. So after this presentation, what are different forms of business and which suits you. And then coming to MSME schemes, so it can be classified with the MSME schemes by Ministry of MSME. They can be broadly classified into technology upgradation. So there are a bunch of schemes under it. Then access to credit, which is very important for MSME to get loans to start their business, to expand grow their business. Then entrepreneurship and skill development program for prospective entrepreneurs, who want to start, as well as for existing entrepreneurs and the employees of the enterprise. And then marketing assistance, so that they can do marketing of their products, so those schemes are there. So I'll explain you the important schemes over here, which are applicable for new units. So firstly, access to credit. I would start with PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, which is the I think if you want to start a business, it is the best scheme to apply. It is online, completely online application is there. So it is for starters, who are starting. So the maximum project cost covered under this scheme is, for manufacturing enterprises, it is 50 lakhs, and for service enterprises, it is 20 lakhs. So you can see this table, which shows this category of the beneficiaries contribution in the project cost and the rate of subsidy. So this is a scheme, in which subsidy is also a part of the scheme. So that is why it is great for starters who want to start. So if uh, for general category entrepreneur and special category entrepreneur, so in this special category is SC, ST, OBC, minorities, women, ex-servicemen, transgenders, differently abled, physically handicapped people, and northeastern region. If your unit is located in that region, and aspirational districts, which government has identified aspirational districts and hill and border areas, in that if it is located, then you fall under special category, and this slab will be applicable to you. So over here you see the contribution. For example, you are starting a business with a proposed project cost of 50 lakhs, then from your side you have to contribute 10%, that is 5 lakhs. And if you fall into general category, if you fall into special category, then from your side you have to contribute 5%. So that is 5 into 5, 25 to 2.5 lakhs. And if also depends upon, and then there is a subsidy portion of it. So the subsidy rate of subsidy is minimum 15% and maximum 35% subsidy you can get. So the subsidy you see over here 15-25%. So for general category it is 15%, and for special category it is 25% subsidy. So for example 50 lakh and 25%, so that is you get 12.5 lakh subsidy for a 50 lakh project, manufacturing project, if you fall into special category. But there is an additional 10% subsidy if your unit is located in a rural area. If you propose to start a unit in rural area where Gram Panchayat is there, so you get 35% subsidy. So additional 10% subsidy. So this is the maximum. If you fall into special category and you are proposing the unit in main objective of this scheme is to create employment. So that is the this PMEGP, this abbreviation, this acronym stands for Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. So that is the objective behind this additional 10% subsidy. So when you start in a unit in rural area, you will create the employment for the rural people over there. So they don't need to come to cities, and they get employment opportunity in their area. So that is why the additional 10% subsidy. And then how to apply for this scheme? So you have to go to this PMEGP portal. If you Google this two keywords, KVIC, which stands for Khadi Village Industries Corporation, mentioned over here, you can see this KVIC and space PMEGP. Then the first Google result will be this PMEGP portal. So it is kviconline.gov.in, and then you have to go over here, online application for individual, and click over here. And there is also online application for non-individual. If you are partners who are proposing under PMEGP scheme, proposing a business plan under PMEGP scheme, you can click over here. So then there is an online application which you have to fill up. I also have in this portal itself, you will find a video tutorial how to fill the application. It's a short 10-15 minute video, and there are some model project profiles. You can go over here and you can browse through it, because once you fill this application, you also have to upload a brief project profile. Then there is a template available in the form. You have to download it and you have to fill it up and upload it. So once you submit the application successfully, a PMEGP tracking number is assigned to you. So about in 1 month's time, you get a call from the agency, nodal agency which you have selected, KVIC, KVIB, or DIC. These three COIR is not there at present. So these three agencies in the form you can select. So your PMEGP application is taken care of by these three agencies. So KVIC, as I told you, for Hyderabad, it is located at NIMS May at Yusuf Guda. DIC district industry center. Each district is having one district industry center, so it falls under the state industries department, Telangana Industries Department. And for Hyderabad, this is located at DIC office is located at Mushirabad at RTC Crossroad. There is one old building opposite Lepakshi showroom. So that is the DIC. For Medchal, it is at a collectorate office. So for most of the districts, it is the DIC offices have been relocated in the collectorate complex, except few. So and so you can select any government agency and they will facilitate your PMEGP application. So once sufficient number of applications have been received from a district, they call the applicants for interview. So the interview is done by a committee, and they have a procedure, to evaluate the proposal, the interview, and gives some marks against each parameter. So if you have the minimum passing marks, then your application is cleared, and the loan is approved. One thing I forgot to mention over here, you see, for example, you fall into special category and you are setting up your unit in a rural area, then the 5% plus 35%, 40% of the project cost is covered. Remaining 60% is provided to you as a loan, which you have to repay with the interest rate. And this PMEGP application is collateral free. So that is another advantage of this scheme, and this has been quite successful. So that is why government has come up with this upgradation and expansion version of PMEGP scheme. So for those unit who have taken loan under PMEGP scheme already, and or even Mudra scheme, I'll tell about Mudra scheme also. So they can apply for an upgradation or expansion. So they can get up to 1 crore for manufacturing and 25 lakh for service industry. A second top-up loan for expansion of their business, to for fixed capital investment, and a subsidy is also there in that 15% of the project cost. Subsidies you can get. So this is the PMEGP scheme, and if you want, then I can show you probably in the second session, how to apply it online. I can show you the page, everything. Then I'll come to this credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises. So this is a wonderful scheme set up by Government of India, because most of the entrepreneurs, they don't have collateral to give to bank for taking loan. So with this scheme, that part is covered. You don't have to provide collateral. You can get loans collateral free. So that is CGT MSc. So you don't have to do anything in this. In your loan application, there is a field, which asks you whether you have collateral or not. If you select no, then bank will apply to CGT MSc trust for collateral against your loan application. So this is the table. I'll come to this table, which gives you an overview of what is this. So the guarantee, where the maximum extent of guarantee for the credit facility is as below. So up to 5 lakhs, it is 85% of the amount is covered under that. And from above 5 lakhs to 50 lakh, 75% of the amount is covered under that. So if you are applying for initially, it will be a micro enterprise. So you will fall into this first slab. In case you are going above 50 lakh loan up to 2 crore, then 75% of the amount collateral will be covered by this fund trust. Now recently, this CGT MSc scheme, they have raised the ceiling from 2 crore, from 200 lakhs. Now it is 500 lakhs, that is 5 crore. And for micro enterprise, the default amount covered is 85% of the loan. So it is up to 5 crore now. So you can take collateral from this trust. Your bank, financial lending institution, can apply for collateral up to 5 crore loans. But there is also an annual guarantee fee associated with this. So the annual guarantee fee is on an approximately 2%. So that 2% is on the pending amount. The first year it will be for the the entire amount, then it is reduced. As you pay the EMI based on the remaining amount, the annual guarantee fee will be applicable. So that is clubbed with the interest, loan interest, and banks charge it to you. So procedure to opt for CGT MSE: you prepare a business plan, submit application to the bank. Bank verifies the application, and bank will send the application to CGT MSE, and the fund is released on approval by the trust. So this communication happens between bank and CGT MSE. You only have to submit your loan application to the bank, and they will evaluate your loan application if adheres to RBI norm and they find it economically viable business proposal. Then they approve the loan and they take the collateral from CGT MSE. So this is the operational highlights of CGT MSE. So during fiscal year 22, 56,172 crore of loans have been amount of loans have been covered, and coverage is 52%. So that is there. And Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So this is also a scheme for a specific category of businesses, micro businesses, especially. So in this scheme, the benefit is the turnaround time for the loan is quite fast. You can, if the loan amount is very small, for example, less than 50,000, then within 1-2 days you can get the loan. And the application is pretty simple, just your KYC. Based on your KYC, the loan amount is disbursed. So you can also apply online, at udyamimitra.in. And some banks also have this mobile number facility. With your mobile number, you can get the Mudra loan. So that is the benefit. You can get loans up to 10 lakh under Mudra scheme. So this Mudra agency is there. It's a refinance agency, and it finances all the bank for Mudra loans. And the approval for this loan, rests with that particular branch. So it doesn't need to take zonal office permission. It can disburse Mudra loan, and every branch, have got specific target under Mudra loan. They have to disburse, that many loans under Mudra scheme. So it is divided into 3 parts. Just for your information: Shishu, Kishore, and Tarun. So loans up to 50,000 is falls under Shishu, 1-page application. Kishore, loan application is 50,000 to 5 lakhs. So the loan application form is also different for this. For example, you go to Tarun, it will be a 3-page form, application form. You have to do. Tarun loans are up to from 5 lakh to 10 lakh. So this is the achievements under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So total amount sanctioned is 1,79,979 crores. And amount disbursed about the same. And number of loans sanctioned, it is 2,46,64,088. So Mudra is also one of a successful scheme by Government of India. And then there is Stand Up India scheme. This is specifically for financing SC, ST, and women entrepreneurs who are starting business for the first time in their life. It is for them. So a loan amount is starting from 10 lakh to 1 crore. This is also an online scheme. The application is online, and the margin money contribution from the entrepreneur is 15%. So Mudra, after Mudra, this is a good scheme, Stand Up India scheme for SC, ST, or women entrepreneurs. They are only eligible to apply under this scheme. There is also a subsidy, credit link capital subsidy linked in the application. And the advantage of this scheme is each branch, have been allocated a target. At least one Stand Up India loan for SC, ST entrepreneur, and one for women entrepreneur they have to disburse. It is compulsory, mandatory for them to achieve to get that target. The application is online at standupmitra.in. That is the portal. And then this is a scheme, Startup India scheme. These are for startups, and this scheme is not from Ministry of MSME. It is from Ministry of Commerce and Industry. there's a department called as DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So it is by them. So now there is a definition for startup. It's not just any business you want to start. There is a criteria to be recognized as a startup, and then you can avail the benefits under this Startup India scheme. So it's your company age should not exceed 10 years from the date of incorporation. So it should be an incorporated company. Unregistered companies, don't fall under startup. And it should be less than 10 years old. So incorporated as a private limited company, a registered partnership firm, or a limited liability partnership. So if you are incorporated as these type of companies, legal businesses, then you are eligible to apply under startup. Your annual turnover should not cross 100 crore for any years, any of the years. So once it crosses, you cease to be a startup, and it should be an original entity, not formed by splitting or reconstructing an existing business. And the most important criteria is it should be innovative and scalable. So you should have some innovative product you are offering, or the process or service should be innovative, or it should be a scalable business model, which is high potential for growth, for creation of wealth, and in terms of generation of employment. So then so the application is online at Startup India website, startupindia.gov.in, and it's a simple application you have to do over there. And along with the application, you also have to write a brief write-up about your company, explaining how it is a startup, how it is innovative or scalable business model. Once you get that startup certificate, so these are the benefits. So once you convince DPIIT that you are a startup, then you get a DPIIT recognized startup certificate and a number, and then you are eligible for this self certification, which is there for incorporated companies. There is a compliance under 9 environmental, actually 6 environmental and 3 labor laws are there. So you can do self certification, and then there is an income tax exemption for 3 consecutive years, and then there is also an exemption on capital gains and an angel tax investment, which is investment above fair market value. When VCs invest in your company, and it is above the fair market value of your share price, then it attracts an angel tax, so that is exempted. So it attracts, when that is exempted, then VCs are attracted towards startups. They want to invest in startup, because all the money which they are investing will go to startup, and none of it will go to angel tax. Then winding up of companies also, because when you take a startup, it's a high risk, high reward kind of venture. If it doesn't click, then there are high chances that you will not succeed. But if it clicks, you get high reward. It grows exponentially. So winding up is a thing, which startups have been suffering, once they start the company. So under the Startup India scheme, within 90 days, under insolvency and bankruptcy code, you can wind up the company. Insolvency professional will be assigned, allocated to your startup, which will help you in dissolving the company. Then other thing, since startup would be innovative, there would be a lot of IPR. Few IPR. So IPR application, patent application is on fast track, so you get patents, immediately, and there is an 80% rebate in the filing of patents, as well as the facilitation of the patent and trademark is free of cost through the empaneled patent and trademark agents under Startup India. So the list of facilitators is available online at Startup India website. Then in public procurement also, public procurement in the sense government procurement, government buyer. So all central public sector undertakings, and government departments, they're participating in a tender. They ask for this prior experience or prior turnover, minimum turnover in their tenders. So if you have this DPIIT recognized startup certificate, then you get exemption on this prior turnover and prior experience criteria. And also the earnest money deposit which you have to pay to participate in bids. So that is also exempted. That is also for MSMEs. Even MSMEs who are not startup, they are also exempted from EMD, and there's a relaxation in prior turnover and experience for MSME also. Then there is a SIDBI funds of funds, which is available through alternate investment funds. They have access to it, and they can invest in your business, and they get 50% of what they invest, through SIDBI funds of funds. So fund of funds, and there is also a seed fund scheme in startup. You can apply at Startup India website, and you get seed funding. And the good thing about the seed funding, there is no upper cap. You can get, there is no upper cap. How much seed fund you want. In that scheme. So I'll show you that also in the second session. I'll go to the Startup India website and show you that how to apply for Startup India certificate and other things. Then coming back to Ministry of MSME scheme, there is a subsidy scheme called as Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme. Now this scheme is only for upgradation of machinery. If you are going to buy a machinery, then you get this subsidy and you can apply for it. In this scheme guidelines, there is an appendix 4. There is a form which you have to fill in and submit to your lending institution. So this scheme is credit linked. If you are buying machinery on credit, only then you are eligible to apply under this scheme. And 15% is the cap for this scheme. So for example, your machinery, you are buying machinery up to of value 1 crore, you are eligible for 15 lakh subsidy. Even if it is more than 1 crore, maximum 15 lakh will be provided as subsidy. For SC/ST entrepreneurs, it is 25%, so they get subsidy of 25 lakh. So that is Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme, and the eligibility is decided by your lending institute. So there are 11 banks which have an MOU with our ministry, and they have a special login ID password in the CLCSS portal. And once you submit the hard copy of the application to them, then they fill the details online on this portal. The application goes to our head office, that is Office of Development Commissioner for MSME, and there it is processed, and approved. Once it is approved, then the subsidy is released by our Development Commissioner's office, and then it is held in your loan account for first 3 years of your repayment, and after that, it is adjusted towards your EMI, remaining portion of your EMI. So that is how the subsidy is disbursed. Then there is an MSME innovative scheme. So it was launched in last year only, and this comprises of 3 components. So incubation, intellectual property right, and design. And it is that the application is at my.msme.gov.in. So most of the schemes of Ministry of MSME, the application is on this portal. So I'll also show you the portal. Let me go to the portal and show you, because it is very important if you want to apply for any scheme under Ministry of MSME to do on this portal. So let me share my screen. We share my browser. So are you able to see my browser?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm typing in the URL gov. So yes. So are you able to see the web page loading?
Yes, sir. My MSME.
My MSME. Yes.
Yes.
So this is what this looks like. So if you want to go apply for Udyam registration, you can go from here also. Once you click this, it will take you to the Udyam registration portal, and you can file Udyam registration, which is the MSME certificate, over on this portal. So you have to. This is the block for you, which you have to click. So and then you can do the online application after verification of your Aadhaar number. Let's go back to my MSME portal. So okay. So this is the thing. So everything is over here. Udyam registration, then MSME dashboard. It gives you stats of MSME. Application under various schemes. So what are the stats? How many application is it? How many application approved, under process? Those things. Incubation is there. So incubation scheme, if you have any, you can apply under incubation scheme. and that is part A of incubation scheme. There is also part B. Part B in which engineering colleges, they can apply and become an empaneled host institution, which will host and incubate the idea of entrepreneurs, prospective entrepreneurs, and for each idea, 15 lakh fund is provided. And also now under incubation scheme, recently we have organized 2 hackathons in which you can propose the idea and fund is disbursed depending upon idea to idea. Different amount of fund is disbursed, maximum 15 lakhs. And for the host institution, once they are empaneled and they get at least 2 idea approved, then they can also apply for this 1 crore fund for upgradation of their for purchasing equipment, upgradation of their incubation center. And there is also part C, in which a seed fund is provided to incubated idea if they want to translate the idea to a startup. So that seed fund of 1 crore is provided. And then there is a Samadhan portal. So this is a separate portal, Samadhan portal, samadhan.msme.gov.in. So it is to address the delayed payment issue. I'll talk about it later on in the presentation. Then there is a MSME Sambandh portal. So Sambandh portal is for the public procurement. You can get all the data of public procurement, different PSUs, what is their procurement last year, how much they have procured, and the items they procure. So for example, if you are manufacturing something and you see which are the government buyers you can sell your product to, you can get the information over here. MSME Sambandh, sambandh.msme.gov.in. So it is a separate portal. So link is given over here. Then credit link capital subsidy scheme application is also over here, but this is for the banks. You have to submit hard copy over there and the bank will apply this portal. Then there is a cluster scheme. It is for a group of industry which forms a cluster, which are doing similar or complementary activity and falling within a specific geographical area located nearby each other. For example, in one particular industrial estate, it is for them. So under this scheme, the funding is up to 20 crore. So it is for establishment of a common facility center which can be utilized by all the industries in that particular cluster. Then there is a design scheme. So in this, you can apply for funding, for getting a product design. And this is important scheme, PMS. As a starter, this scheme is beneficial to you. Once you click on this PMS, procurement and marketing, you see these 3 icons over here. And the first one is exhibitions, and it is mentioned trade fairs, domestic. So domestic exhibitions, you can participate and you can get reimbursed your expenditure under this scheme. And there is a second one is for partner organization. So under this, if you want to organize an exhibition, then you can apply the application over here. You want to organize any event, also you can apply for that over here. So this is not for individual MSME, but this is for industry association or state government offices like Telangana Industries Department. So Ministry of MSME will fund the event or exhibition. And then there is a barcode scheme. So under this scheme, because barcode is a requirement, if you have products and you want to put them in marketplace, you need barcode. So it is through GS1 India, you get barcodes. And minimum barcodes they provide is 100, minimum 100. So the reimbursement is provided by Ministry of MSME. The application is online. So the reimbursement is for 100 barcodes, and the one-time registration fee of the barcode plus the recurring fee is there, annual recurring fee. So for first 3 years, so that is reimbursed. And for domestic exhibitions, you can see the list of events when you go over here, view events. This list, there are domestic trade fairs happening across India, that is listed over there. So if you want to participate in that, so I'll take you over there. So this is the name of the event with address. So Udyog 2024 at Surat, Gujarat, and then there is a Plastivision. This is quite popular, and this is a 12th version of it, for plastic industry, and it is organized by All India Plastic Manufacturer Association (EPMA). So these all events are there, and you can see over here name of the organizer with address and the duration of the event. So this first Udyog 2024 is from 23rd Feb 2024 to 26th Feb. So 3-day event, and the closing date. So this closing date is closing date for online application. You have to apply. So this event is going to start on 23rd Feb. You have to apply, do the online application on or before 23rd Jan. So 1 month prior to that, if you apply online, then your application will be considered for reimbursement. So, and the product details are over here. You can see the product details. So you can see, you can choose exhibition, which suits you. For example, you are manufacturing smart lights, or you are into IoT. So this exhibition is right for you. This exhibition organized by Indian Society of Light Engineers, LIL 2023 at Bangalore. So you can apply under this, and this is the stall cost over here. So cost per square meter, and this is the minimum area you have to book, and the subsidy reimbursement will be provided for this minimum stall size. So in this, you will get a reimbursement of 1,48,680 rupees. This is the total cost for minimum stall size, and plus there is a reimbursement toward contingency expenditures. You are, for example, brochures you are printing, banner you are printing, publicity material. So all those is reimbursed, and then there is also a travel cost which is reimbursed. So maximum reimbursement provided under this scheme is 1.5 lakh for A-class cities like Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, all this, and for other cities it is 80,000. So you fill the online application. So how do you fill the online application? Once you click on this exhibitions, then you get this screen, which asks your Udyam registration number. So that is the requirement of Udyam registration number here, and mobile number, what you have filled in your MSME registration form. That mobile number you have to validate through with OTP, and then you can apply, and you can select the exhibition over there, and upload the documents in the application form, submit it, and then you can follow up with the MSME DFO you have selected. For example, you go back to view events, and you will see over here MSME DFO, so which is considering the application. So for Udyog 2024 it is Ahmedabad. For this LIL 2023 Light India International, it is Bangalore, MSME DFO Bangalore. So you want to apply to Hyderabad, we have this Livestock, Dairy and Fishery Expo 2023, which is going to be organized in September. So that is there. Then IND Expo is there. So for engineering and industry supply, so in September again. So you can apply and you can participate in this. Most of them are conducted at Hyderabad International at High-Tech Exhibition Center, so which is a popular destination for exhibitions. So you get exposure once you participate in the exhibition. So you get exposures. So a lot of buyers visit this exhibition, and also you find out other industries who are engaged into this. So there is a growth opportunity by participating. You get a focused marketing. Unlike you putting Google ad, or you sending emails, doing telemarketing. Exhibitions are more productive form of marketing, because you get that focused market. For example, if I am visiting this expo, then I am associated, or I am an enthusiast, or I am doing a business in smart lighting, IoT, or this thing. So that particular group only visits. So, and then barcode reimbursement application is also similar. You have to validate it, and then you can apply in the online form. It's important to note that once you fill this online application, then you have to follow up with the MSME DFO office. That means you have to submit the original bills at the MSME DFO office. So this is IPR, intellectual property right. So as a startup, as an MSME business, you will definitely file IPR. At least trademarks you will be filing, because whenever you start with any product or services, you need to give it a brand name, logo. So you will filing trademark, or you may also file patents, design. So for that, we have some scheme called as IPR, intellectual property rights. So you get reimbursement. So you can apply over here for reimbursement of patent, reimbursement of GI, reimbursement of trademark, design, patent, and also institutions can apply, enroll as an IPFC, Intellectual Property Facilitation Center. So in IPFC, the concept is Ministry of MSME will provide the funding, and these empaneled IPFCs will have to support MSMEs. They have to do their application. If somebody wants to file a patent and an innovator comes, he has got Udyam registration, he's an MSME and he wants to do the patent registration. So all the filing professional fee will be free of cost for him, which is funded by Ministry of MSME. So that is the concept behind it. So then there is one scheme, Champions, introduced during COVID. So in Champion scheme, if you want any query, you have any grievances, you just put in Champions portal, and so go to this MSME Champions portal, and then you register your grievance, or if you are seeking a guidance or information, you just click over here, and only the asterisk marked items are mandatory over here, and you can select and you can submit this grievance, and then it will be responded within 3 days, or it will be redirected to the appropriate authority, and then it will be addressed. So you can see control rooms over here, so who are which are present. So these are Champions control rooms, so all across India. So we have Champion State Control Office at NSIC Technical Services Center, Hyderabad, as well as in our office, MSME DFO Hyderabad, Balanagar. So that is there, and plus you have banks are there. If you have want to complain against any bank, which delaying your application unnecessary. So all bank nodal officers have been, including private banks, have been onboarded this. So your grievance will forward to that particular bank's nodal officer. All people onboarded are at a senior level. So it goes to the senior level. So you have, if you have complaint or you have grievances or any clarification you want, from various government departments, then you can see nodal officers. Even state government nodal officers are there. Telangana government, I think Mr. Naveen Reddy is there, who is looking after this thing. Yes, Naveen Reddy is there, still he is there. So there, and then central public sector enterprises also are onboarded on this. So that is Champions portal, and we'll go back to my MSME. So Z scheme is there. I'll talk about it in my presentation. And project profiles, you can get some sample project profiles over here. And yes, some sample project profiles. So these are some. You click on something. For example, you want to start bakery product. So this is the project profile. So introduction about it. Like that. So you can also make your own introduction. So this is just a template, a guideline about promoter you have to write. So this is how a project profile should look like. It should have these components. Introduction, then promoter's background, what is your experience in bakery and other thing, what is the location of the unit, what is the market potential of that product, the quality control standard, manufacturing process, how you will do it, that. So based on that, your machineries are identified, what machineries you will require, and then your products, different products, and then raw materials, then cost of the project, which is an important part. Means of finance, how much you would be requiring as loan, and how much will be your contribution, and working capital requirements. So one is when you take a loan, one is for your fixed investment, to set up the business, and one is for your day-to-day expenses. So that day-to-day expenses is your working capital requirement. So that is given in the form of a cash credit limit by the bank. So normally, when you apply for a loan, it will be a composite application consisting of term loan and a cash credit limit, CC limit. So then your production and sales, cost of break-even analysis, all this. So this is required whenever you are applying for a loan. This project profile is required. It's known as DPR or project profile. So in case you are going for a loan of more than 1 crore, then you require a DPR, detailed project profile, detailed project report with credit monitoring analysis. So that is required. If you are going for a small loan like up to 25 lakh, you don't require a detailed project report. You require a basic project profile, like over here. If you are going above 1 crore, it is better to go to a professional and get the project report prepared. Obviously, the inputs will be from your side, and he will prepare in a standard format. The credit monitoring analysis he will do that. And then so yeah, that is all which is concerned with startups. And there is a Z scheme also, zero defect, zero effect. This is a quality certification for MSME. So this is also pretty simple. Once you have your Udyam registration, you can start with Z. This is MSME Sustainable Z certification. So it is an extensive drive to create awareness among MSMEs about zero defect and zero effect. Zero defect means your product gets manufactured with minimum defect. Zero effect, during the manufacturing process, there is zero or minimal impact on the environment. So there are some practices, and tools. If you use them in your business, in your shop floor, then automatically your product will come out with minimum defect. So so the thing is, it certifies you as a bronze, silver, or gold, as well as if you are bronze, it will also, there is a part of the scheme which provides you with consultants whose cost is subsidized, and the consultants will handhold you to increase your productivity and take you to the next level. So you can register over here, and then you can apply for Z. And let me go back to the scheme presentation. Yes. So this is incubation, IPR, and design, and idea hackathons we organize. And a 1 month window is it will be open for a 1 month window where you can apply. You can apply through host institution. I think GRIT also is a host institution under MSME business incubation scheme. You can apply through them ideas, and then so this is what I told you about. So under idea hackathon or for incubation, students can apply, anybody can apply, individual can apply, or MSMEs also who are having Udyam, they can also apply to host institute for developing and nurturing the ideas. Up to 15 lakh per idea shall be provided to the host institution. So the funding will be routed through host institution for developing the idea. And then there is 1 crore for procurement and installation of relevant plant and machinery, including hardware and software, to the business incubator, BI, that is empaneled host institution. Then IPR. So IPR, you have on this screen. Let me go to this screen. So you have a snapshot of IPR. So reimbursement is provided. So you have a patent. You have to first file with Indian Patent Office, and then if you want to apply, you are interested in foreign markets, so you can apply the patent in those respective countries through WIPO. So domestic patent, your expenditure, once it is granted, remember this all reimbursement is only after the registration is done or the IPR is granted. You can apply. So you have to upload that certificate, registered certificate. So for domestic Indian patent, 1 lakh up to 1 lakh subject to actual expenditure is reimbursed. For international patent in each country, up to 5 lakh is reimbursed. And then geographical indication is for communities, GI communities. So that is not applicable for startups there. Design registration is there. So For example, you have some design means the aesthetic appearance of the product, which does not render functionality, but it gives an appeal to the product. It makes it more sellable. For example, sleek design is there, and some attractive design, especially in case of jewelries. So that design registration, if you want to register, so it is protected for up to 10 years plus additional 5 years you can extend. So up to 15,000 reimbursed in that. And for trademark, each trademark 10,000 is reimbursed subject to actual expenditure. So if you want to file a trademark, it would cost you, the government fee for MSME subsidized cost is 4,500 for per trademark. And trademarks are different classes. There is the 45 NICE classification, NICE classification of trademarks. So based on the product services you are offering, it will be classified into one of those 45 NICE classes, and each class application is separate. So if you want to file one trademark, your product may fall under different classes. So you may have to apply for multiple trademark, and there is a separate trademark application for the word mark. For the logo, there is a separate trademark. Complete device mark with the word mark and the logo, there is a separate application. So per application 4,500 is the statutory fee, plus if you are going through an trademark agent, he will charge some professional fee, which is about 1,500 to 2,000. If the application goes smooth, if some objection comes, replying to that, attending hearing, then there are additional costs to it. So maximum 10,000 is reimbursed per trademark application under this scheme. And also, once these IPFCs, are in the process of empanelment, once it is empaneled, then you can approach any of our IPFC and you can get the professional services free of cost. You only have to pay for the government fee, which is reimbursable under this scheme. So by the way, all these components, all charges are reimbursed, including the professional charges, attending hearing, everything's reimbursed up to the grant of the IPR. After the grant of IPRs, you want to assign the trademark to some other company, or you want to do some modification, that is not reimbursed. Renewal of patent fee is not reimbursed in this. So design expertise. So in design, we have this design projects. So financial assistance to the MSMEs for engagement of design consultants for design intervention. So that is provided. So 75% financial assistance is provided for micro, 60% for other MSMEs. So for the project range of 15 lakh to 40 lakh. And for student projects, so you can also hire students for the design intervention you require, for your product design, so financial assistance to the parent design institute for reimbursing 75% of expenses incurred, so maximum up to rupees 2.5 lakh for final year student project done for MSMEs. So that is, again, the application is through my MSME portal, which I had shown you. And then seed capital, I was talking about, there is also a seed capital for incubation design scheme. So financial assistance up to 1 crore is provided in the form of equity through SIDB. The equity ratio is 80:20. 80% of funding by Government of India. Remaining funding will be from the beneficiary. So that is there. Then MSME sustainable Z scheme. So zero defect manufacture goods in such a way that they carry zero defect. That means minimal defect, and that our exported goods are never returned back to us. And zero effect, manufacture goods with zero effect, that they should not have a negative impact on the environment. So that is Z scheme. So this is motivated to adopt best practices in work culture, standardization of products, processes, systems, etc., reduce wastage substantially, increase productivity, enhance the environmental consciousness, save energy, optimally use natural resources, and expand their market. Create awareness amongst MSMEs about Z practices, motivate and incentivize them for Z certification, also encouraging them to become MSME champions. Manufacturing of quality products using latest technology tools, upgrade the processes for achievement of high quality and high productivity with least effect on the environment. So these are the Z principles. So once you get Z certified, automatically you will come to know what principles you are adhering to. If you don't get any certification, that means you are not implementing the Z principles, which consist of Lean, Six Sigma, everything. So So once you do the Z registration, first you have to take a Z pledge, and then immediately after taking Z pledge, you get a user ID and password, and then you can download the app, Z MSME app from Play Store, which is developed by QCI, Quality Council of India, and you can apply for the Z application. So there are three certification levels in this: bronze, silver, and gold. So you can apply for bronze, silver, gold, and there are some fee. But once you take the Z pledge, so currently this is applicable only for manufacturing enterprises. So then you take a pre-commitment or a solemn promise to uphold the values of zero defect, zero effect in practice, and you get a credit of 10,000. So what happens? 10,000 is awarded to in your account. Then your bronze application becomes free of cost, and you get there is subsidy on the certification. So this is a subsidy. So certification level 1 bronze is rupees 10,000, but with the 10,000 reward, it becomes zero. You don't have to pay anything for bronze. For silver also it is reduced. It significantly comes down, and for gold also. So for bronze certification, it is completely desktop assessment, online assessment, and you have to upload the documents, and it will be assessed by a consultant, and then if any non-conformity is there, then he will raise queries, and you have to reply to that. Once that is addressed, then you get the bronze certificate, and it is valid for 3 years. Silver level is a remote or video assessment. It's a live assessment done. And gold level on-site assessment is the consultant will come to your site and will assess whether actually you are implementing those things or not. So once you have this, then you also have the ISO certification, because you will be implementing those things. And there is benefit of this, once you get the Z certification, and if you are doing any other certification, you get a reimbursement of that. And under various MSME scheme, there is an additional subsidy for Z certified MSMEs. So that is Z. And there is a lean manufacturing scheme. So you want to implement lean in your scheme. So what are the different lean tools? 5S, Tokayoke technique, and quick changeover, having SOPs, visual communication. All these are lean tools which increases productivity. And so these techniques most of the techniques are developed by Japanese companies, and it is very popular in the automotive industry. So these lean techniques, if you implement, then you will cut down your cost expenses. Without any additional investment, you cut down your wastages. So to implement this lean practices in your manufacturing unit, you need consultants, and the cost of these consultants are pretty high. Big companies, they hire these consultants, to optimize their processes, and you get the same consultants at a significantly lower cost, because the 80% of the cost of the consultant is borne by Government of India, only 20% by beneficiaries. And ideally, mini cluster of 10 units is required to apply under this scheme. So 10 units are there. For example, in Hyderabad, lean is implemented with offset printer. There is a huge association of offset printer. Offset print. So what are offset printers? They have these offset printers, and they print on packaging materials. So everything you buy, on the wrappers and other things, on boxes, whatever is printed, it is through this offset printer. So you as an MSME, if you want to package your product, you get your packaging material and your packaging design, everything, and printing. You have to approach an offset printer. Lot of offset printers in Hyderabad, also in around Hyderabad. And so we have implemented this lean scheme with them. And so the consultants are allocated to you, and they work with you for 18 months, and they implement these lean practices at your manufacturing place, and you will be able to see the improvement. So when 10 units are there, for example, these lean consultants, they charge up to 36 lakhs. So you only have to, as a group of 10 units, you only have to bear 20% of that cost. So how much is that? 36 to I think 70 for example, say 35 lakhs, it will be 70,000. So 70,000 you have to bear for 18 months of time of the consultants, and that will be distributed among 10 units, so it is 7,000 per unit. So it is bearable, so you can hire the consultant. Only thing, their time will be distributed among the 10 units, so you can hire that world-class consultants who are normally recruited by large companies. So you get that benefit. It is all to make MSMEs competitive. So that is scheme. Digital MSME scheme is there, where you can adopt ICT tools at a subsidized cost if you want to implement ERP, everything. So there are empaneled ERP providers. You can take that cloud software, you can take, and subsidy is provided on that. Then there is a public procurement policy. So public procurement policy is one important policy for MSMEs. In this, basically what government is doing, the government buying market is there, government procurement. In that, reservation is there for MSMEs. Not MSMEs exactly, only micro and small, not medium enterprises. So micro and small enterprises, they have reservation in the government procurement. And so 25% of annual procurement from any central government department and central public sector undertaking has to be done from MSC. This is applicable even to our office. 25% procurement we have to ensure we have to do from micro and small enterprises only. And over the past few years, you take an average, at least 50% of procurement, from government departments, CPSEs have been from MSCs. And out of that 25%, 4% is earmarked for MSCs which are owned by SC/ST entrepreneurs, and 3% from MSCs owned by women entrepreneurs. So this is the policy, public procurement policy. And there is also price preference. There are a list of 358 items which have to be purchased exclusively from MSCs only, and no medium and large scale industries you have to buy those products. For example, soaps and other products, nails, fasteners, these products, if procured by government department, they have to be procured exclusively from 100% from MSCs only. And then tender sets, you get free of cost. EMD is exempted. You participate in the bid, participation is free of cost. And also for certain cases, even waiver of security deposit is also there. So this
Sir,
MSME
sorry to
yes,
interrupt you, sir.
Yes.
Can break for 10 minutes if possible, sir, so that
yes, sure.
you
sure,
are continuously
Yes, I also
tired.
Yes.
Right,
Oh,
sir. We'll
yes.
definitely join within 10 minutes, sir.
Okay. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, my dear participants, please join back within 10 minutes for a short break. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Gulshan, sir.
Hello. Morning, ma'am. Am I audible?
Shall we continue, sir?
Yes, yes. Is my voice clear? Audible? Hello.
Sir, we are unable to hear you, sir.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Gulshan, sir, your audio is not. Yes, sir. Yes.
Am I audible?
Thank you, sir. Sir, your audio,
Audio
you are not able to hear, sir.
Okay. Hello. Am I audible now? Am I audible now?
No audio, sir.
No audio. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. But
Audible now?
yes, sir, but low volume, sir.
Volume is low. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Audible. Audible now?
Yes, sir.
How is the volume?
Okay, sir, now.
Okay. 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 So I'll share my screen again. Hope everyone is back.
Yes, sir.
And, okay. So far, anybody has any questions? They can shoot now.
Participants, any questions?
Any questions? It may not be related to the presentation I've given so far, but any queries you have in general, because we provide consultancy, mentorship, to prospective entrepreneurs. So, you have any queries? If you have any business plan in your mind, and you have any specific query, you can shoot now.
Participant, please post your query in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. We'll continue, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So yes, thank you, ma'am. So we were at MSME Sambandh, procurement from Central Ministries Department. So if you go to this portal, I'll show you the portal. I'll share that also with you. Okay, so you go to this. You can either go from here, Sambandh, from here you can go. It will take you there, or you can go to sambandh.msme. Just type MSME Sambandh. So you will get that MSME Sambandh also from here. You can see. So it gives you a highlight of the procurement from central ministries. So on this Sambandh portal, you will have only from CPSCs only, because they are only uploading the data now. You will not have the data from central ministries and department over here. So you see the procurement, is as on date is 10,238 rupees, crore of rupees, and
procurement from MSE is 42.75% of that. Procurement from SC/ST owned micro and small enterprises only 77 crores. It is 0.75%, but the target is 4% they have to meet. So that is why now every now and then they keep on calling us, emailing us to provide the list of SC/ST MSE entrepreneurs, for the product services they required, and also for women entrepreneurs it is pretty low. It has to be 3%. So this is the data, and over here I think you can see ministry wise procurement. So, but if you go over here menu, you will be able to see what is public procurement policy, details of that, and purchases item list you can see. So for example, you go to, let's go to a PSU in Hyderabad. So HMT is there, but HMT I think it is stopped. NMDC is there in Hyderabad. At Medipatnam they have their office. So National Small Industries Corporation is here. So okay, so it has downloaded their annual procurement plan for 2023. So projections they have done from NSSC offices. So NSSC is also autonomous body under Ministry of MSME. They have this, you can see capital items, and in lakhs rupees, head office and their different branches they have put over here. For Hyderabad, what is the requirement, so they are going to procure this many items, so you have there, so if you are supplying those items, if you are a manufacturer of those items, then you can participate in this tenders. And how to participate in this tender, I'll also share this PDF. Yeah, I think the PDF is not shared with you. Okay. Yes, I think it is shared. It is shared.
No, sir, it is not shared.
It is not shared. Okay.
Yes, sir.
How about now? Okay, yes.
Yes,
You can see yes. So the projections for procurement made by NSSC officers for fiscal year, financial year 23-24. So this is their head office and the office in Hyderabad over here. What is the procurement you can see over here? So like that, for all PSUs, you can see, so this is for NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation. So like that, you will be able to see for different PSUs. Indian Oil Corporation. So they are one of the major buyers among PSUs. So they redirects to their website where you can see all the data, everything. So that is public procurement portal, and a lot of things are there. You can also attend their vendor development programs, that is buyer seller meet. So you can participate in the vendor development program. The list will be given over here. Are you able to see the screen? I'm hovering the mouse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
visible.
Yes. So CPSC lists are there, and ministry-wise procurement, everything is there. So apply. If you click on about public procurement policy, what is the public procurement policy? Briefly mentioned over here, and learn more. It will redirect you to our development commissioner for MSME website, where all the details will be there. So since 2012, since the inception of this policy, what are different amendments, everything is available over here. FAQ is there, so FAQ you will get all your any quick queries is there regarding public procurement policy. You get it addressed over here. FAQ. So even for performance security in 22, there was a notification passed. If I open that notification, it has been reduced now. And the performance security is once you get the bid, if you are the L1 bidder, lowest bidder, and you are awarded the bid, then you have to pay this performance security. So you see, now the procurement is being shifted to GEM portal, government e-market portal. So what is the circular, latest circular? This circular is passed in November 2020. So performance security from existing 5 to 10% is reduced to 3% of the value of contract for all existing contracts. So the performance security is also reduced. Normally, when you are dealing with a government buyer, so you don't get any upfront payment to execute the order. Instead, you have to pay a performance security that you will execute the order. That security will be there with the government buyer. In case you fail to execute the order, that performance security is forfeited. So that is reduced now. So it will not limit your limited financial resources will not limit your market. So that is the objective. And so going back to the presentation, that is the Sambandh portal. So my MSME app, my MSME website, I have told you about my.msme.gov.in, which looks like this. And then Samadhan, MSME Samadhan delayed payment portal. So once you go into start a business, and you will experience this, I think almost all MSMEs have experienced delayed payment from their buyer. Once they supply goods and services, the settlement is not done in time. But as per MSME D Act, irrespective of what the PO says, PO may say 30 days, 60 days, 45 days is a maximum time limit. So this is an act. This is not an order like public procurement policy order. This is an act passed. In the act, it is mentioned in 45 days, payments of MSME have to be done within 45 days of the acceptance of good services rendered. So I have to do. So if your buyer, irrespective of whether it is a government buyer or a private entity, how that is redressed. So you have this portal where you have to file a case. So I'll show you live how to do it. I'll take you to the portal. You type in Samadhan, MSME Samadhan. If you Google search, it will, the first result I think will be samadhan.msme.gov.in. So yes, over here. Through feedback from industry association, industry bodies, from MSME offices, Ministry of MSME have come up with all the scheme, which were the pinch points for MSMEs. So now the present scenario, business scenario for starting a business has become very friendly. So it is the right time to start a business, because much of the hindrances posed due to administrative factors, other things, are now taken away. Compliances are also minimal, and if you are doing business honestly, then and there is no problem from the government side. So over here, you just have to click on this case filing for entrepreneurs. This radio button, once you click it, so you can put this Udyog Aadhar number is from the previous regime. Now Udyog Aadhar number, you cannot file Udyog Aadhar. Now it is Udyam registration number. This was the previous MSME certificate, prior to Udyam registration certificate. You click on this and you provide your Udyam number. You validate it, and then the online form appears, and your data is taken from Udyam registration number. You have to fill the respondent, the buyer details who is defaulting or delaying your payment. These details you have to put, and then you have to upload the work order issued by him and the invoice which you had supplied to him. So that invoice you have to upload, and then the case is filed. And here is the timeline, how it goes, This is a timeline. Once you file the application, after 15 days, there's an automatic online intimation will be sent to both the entrepreneur, to you, and the respondent, your defaulter, by through email. It's a government notice which goes, normally over here itself, there's a mutual settlement is done. So a lot of times the fault is not only with the buyer, it will because of the entrepreneur also, so so that is settled, they come to an understanding and do this settlement. And if they are not doing settlement, then it is converted, once approved by the council, then it is converted into case. In this case, from step number 3 to 4, you have to submit a DD and an application, 1,000 rupee DD and a hard copy of application. Then it becomes a case, and then there is a case is filed, and it becomes a legal case. So this is the status. So applications filed by MSS delayed payment. So applications rejected by MSA FC Council straight away, because some of the applications, in which buyer, once the intimation is sent, buyer has to respond to that intimation, and say his side of the story, why he is delaying the payment, or that amount is actually not due to the vendor, to the MNC. So this many cases have been disposed. So case is currently under consideration by MSC FC. Now this MSC FC, what is this MSC FC? MSC is Micro Small Enterprises. FC is Facilitation Council. So this MSC Facilitation Council is located at DICs, District Industry Center. So it goes to them. So once you file this case, there will be an option. You can select the District Industry Center. This is an important thing, because once you start business and you have delayed payment, and you will suffer, your payment is not happening, how you will continue doing business? Because you are expecting, once everything is done, goods are manufactured, supplied, you are expecting payment, especially in B2B case, and the client is not paying, then how do you go about it? So this is the solution. And there is one more solution to this, to avoid delayed payment at all, so that I tell you in the TRED scheme. So let me go with TRED scheme. Where is the TRED scheme? Okay, I'll tell you later on about the TRED scheme, where you can avoid the delayed payment issue altogether. So there is procurement and marketing support. I have told you in my.msme. So eligibility is manufacturing and service sector, having micro and small. So you can do Udyam registration even if you are a trader, you're wholesaling or retailing good, but you are not eligible for all these schemes. And even the medium enterprises are not eligible. It is for micro and small. So basically, whose investment is less than 10 crore and turnover is less than 50 crore, they are eligible for this. And these are the components. 4 components. So individual MSMEs can directly participate in domestic trade fair exhibition and get reimbursement. Each MSE is entitled for 2 exhibitions reimbursement in one financial year. So, but in case a lot of applications are received, so preference will be given to those MSMEs who have not even participated in one trade fair and gotten reimbursement. So then organizing domestic trade fair exhibition. So financial support is provided by Ministry of MSME. So this has to be organized by industry association or a state government office. Capacity building of MSMEs in modern packaging technique and development of marketing hubs, where MSMEs can sell. Then vendor development program, it's sort of a buyer seller meet. For funding for that. International national workshop seminar awareness program funding for that is provided under this PMS scheme. So these all other things, these things you can, the first thing you can apply under, if you go to the My MSME portal under PMS, you can apply this directly in the first icon, which I showed you, trade fairs, domestic exhibitions. These remaining things, this has to be applied in the second icon, partner organization. And then there is one more barcode. So barcode you can apply directly. MSME who has taken barcode, they can apply for reimbursement. So market access initiatives across the country. So like I told you earlier, maximum budgetary support when you participate in a domestic trade fair, space rent charges plus contingency expenditure including travel, publicity and freight charges. 1.5 lakhs for A-class cities and 80,000 for other cities. Then custom budget, for organizing when partner organizations are organizing these fairs. custom budget as approved by empowered committee. So there is no ceiling in that. When a development program, maximum 5 lakh per program is organized. And in vendor development program, they should also focus on GEM, help MSMEs on board GEM. So, capacity building for adoption of modern packaging technique, 15 lakh per cluster through empaneled packaging expert organization. So not any, so IIP is there at Sanat Nagar, you can take their assistance, and whatever the charges are there will be reimbursed. You have to apply for that. So this is application through a cluster of industry. But this barcode is directly from MSC. So micro enterprises, 80% of one-time registration fee and 3 years recurring fee, annual fee paid by micro enterprises for up to 100 barcodes or rupees 50,650, whichever is less. So that is reimbursed. Then adoption of e-commerce platform. So this is only for MSME Global Mart, which is hosted by NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation. You can upload your product and you can take a membership. So 75% of the amount and contingency expenses. So this is for the membership fee plus contingency expenses if you hire somebody for uploading 10 products. So for that also amount is reimbursed. Then the national workshop seminars, if government or non-government bodies in organization, they are organizing with 3 years experience in organizing subject-specific workshop for the benefit of MSMEs to educate, make them aware. Up to 5 lakh support is provided. So that is the scheme. Then there is also one particular scheme, that is development of retail outlet. So if, for example, in Hyderabad, you want to start a retail outlet, you will provide it 50% of the cost will be reimbursed to you by, it's not reimbursed, that upfront subsidy is provided to you. But the outlet area of 500, it should be minimum 500 square meter and remaining 50% from your side. So maximum 30 lakh per outlet is provided. So by government of India in A-class city in Hyderabad. Other cities 20 lakh. So now what you can sell, you must sell at least one GI product, and you should have an MOU agreement with the GI community or the GI holder, and retail the products with GI tags at such outlets. So once you have an MOU and you start the outlet with GI product, then you get this funding. So the proposals are submitted via industry association. So you are a MSME, for example, manufacturing plastic products, then you can take membership of this APMA, All India Plastic Manufacturer Association, who also have an office in Hyderabad. So then you can apply through them, or trade bodies like FICCI or FISMI, or you can do with Federation of Telangana Chamber of Commerce Industries. You can take their membership. So you get, by taking membership of this industry association, you get a lot of other benefits. But some of the schemes, you have to apply through them, like this scheme. So now what are GI products? For example, you set up a retail outlet, and suppose your expenditure for setting it up is 30 lakhs rupees, and you will get a financial benefit of 15 lakh in that. 15 lakh from your pocket you have to take, or you can take a loan, and you have to exhibit, sell GI products. What are GI products? GI products are recognized by the GI Office of India at Chennai, and these products include like silver filigree is there, and Nirmal Wooden Toys is there, then Pochampalli Kat, and even you can also sell mangoes because Banganpalli mangoes are also GI recognized. So you can sell those mangoes also. So if you want to develop a retail outlet and sell it, you can get funding on that. But you need to have a MOU with that particular GI community who owns that GI. So then there is one international cooperation scheme. So the application opens in March each year. So this is a portal, so you can apply over there to participate in overseas exhibition. international exhibitions. So list of events are there. So minimum, the application is not done by individual over here. Again, it is done by industry association. The industry association should have a minimum delegation of 10 MSMEs. So 10 MSME applications are there, then it will be considered. And so if it is approved, then a delegation can go over there. So they are whatever they incur expenditure, that is reimbursed. So the ceiling is this. So the space rent maximum amount 3 lakhs. If it is in physical mode, you are physically participating. Even if you are participating online, if it's an online virtual exhibition, then 1.5 lakh is there. And so for travel, 1.5 lakh is reimbursed, economy class airfare ticket. Then there is duty allowance also, US dollar 150 for the association person, because the delegation of MSME unit is going over there. Also from the association body, one person can go and he will receive a duty allowance of 150 US dollar per day. Freight charges are also reimbursable, advertisement publicity charges, entry registration fee for the event, that is also there. So minimum 10 units is there and maximum there is no cap. So this is also a good scheme if you get to participate in foreign fairs, visit abroad. And a lot of industry association have applied earlier also. Now this scheme was recently modified in 2021. And some restrictions have been put. Minimum eligible condition have put over here. So who can, so state central government organization, so our offices also. So if 10 people, 10 MSME 10 entrepreneurs come to us, who want to participate in one particular trade fair, then we can take the application forward, we can apply. And or industry association can do it, societies, registered society, trust organization who are associated with the promotion and development of MSME sector. So organizing conferences also. So industry association, government organization. So maximum 10 lakhs is provided for venue rent, catering, advertising, security, etc. for the expenditure incurred in organizing those conferences, summit, workshop, airfare for foreign speakers. If you want to bring in foreign speakers, experts, so 5 lakhs or actual, whichever is less, for minimum 3 foreign speakers as reimbursed. And then capacity building for exporters is there. So all these things are there. And international market intelligence dissemination. So there is a global market intelligence. This portal is hosted by NSIC. So over there, once you take membership of it, you get that data also. So MSME cluster development program is a flagship scheme of Ministry of MSME. So it is cluster focused, So if you are in particular industrial area, even if you are not engaged or you are in that industrial estate, all the industries, most of the industries are not engaged in same activity or complementary activities, you can also apply under common infrastructure development for that cluster, roads, other things, So you get 2 components are there, common facility center for this, the constituent, the cluster members should be engaged in similar activity, so that the common facility centers being set up, which will be funded by Ministry of MSME, can be utilized by all of them. An ID project, infrastructure development project, is for industrial estates. So irrespective of what kind of industry are there, for development of that. So what is the funding support? The funding support in this is for 5 to 10 crore project cost is there. 70% will be government of India, 20% will be by the state government. SPV is a special purpose vehicle which is found by the cluster members. So they have to contribute 10% in this. And common facility center 5 to 10 crore, for 10 to 30 crore, so up to 30 crore for setting up of a common facility center. For infrastructure development up to 10 crore, 15 crore project cost is eligible to apply under this scheme. So this cluster is for above 5 crore project, but below 5 crore, if you want to do this, then it comes under Spurti schemes. So government support is provided up to 2.5 crore. There is a 500 up to 500 artisans associated with that Spurti cluster. So Spurti cluster is traditional industry clusters. If traditional industry is there, so for them to set up this CFC, for them support is provided. And champions portal, I have told you, grievance redress portal. single window portal where you can get all this. All these things are there on the champions portal. So you can register, give and make suggestions, seek guidance, your ideas you can give to government, and then resources you can find on champions portal, and control rooms you can see feedback. All these things are there. Also, in case of any other thing, like COVID had come, other thing that will be included over here. Champions portal, anything newly launched by government of India, especially for MSME. Then GEM portal, government e-marketplace. So let me directly take you to this GEM portal. So what is this GEM portal? I'll show you over here. So are you able to see this browser?
Yes, sir.
GEM website. Yes. So
Yes,
this is GEM website, gem.gov.in. So you can sign up over here as a buyer organization or the seller. So for me, it is buyer organization. For you, it will be seller service provider. So sorry. So then, so it's an e-commerce platform for government buyers. You can put, whether you're a proprietorship firm or a company or trust. Central, you can select that. For example, proprietorship, then you have to have these documents: Aadhaar card, active email ID, business PAN, bank account number, IFSC code, and income IT returns are required. It's not compulsory, but if you want to participate in the bids on GEM, I'll show you bids also. You can see the list of bids over here. So then you need to have this IT return. Otherwise, you will only be able to list the product and get direct orders. So a lot of orders are direct orders also. For small procurement, a government buyer will not go in the process of bid. It's a bulk procurement, they will go for bid. Small procurement, they will directly place order. So for that, it is not required. So then registered address. Then if you are MSME, you can also link your Udyam number. If you are a DPIIT, now previously the name was DIPP, but now it is DPIIT. So then you can also link your startup certificate number over here, and DST number for interstate. If you are doing interstate business, for that you have to check this. You are starting. You are just starting, and you don't have this ID data. You are having MSN certificate. One more document is mandatory. So IT return is mandatory now. So you have to provide your IT return also. Now, previously it was not mandatory because you see this proceed button. It's not highlighting. You have to click this. Maybe you check this, and afterwards you don't have to fill the IT returns. But this is for creation of your seller account. So you have to read this agreement, and once you read it, then you have to. I have read this, and you proceed. And then you put your business name. So personal verification you can do through Aadhaar or PAN. So this is for proprietorship. If you are a registered company, then you will have a separate PAN number you have to do with that PAN number. Then you do this, and then verify Aadhaar with OTP. Then you verify your email and user credential. Then your account is created. Once your account is created, then you log in through your credentials, login ID, password, and then once you log in, then in the dashboard, on the left side over here, you will see some few things are mentioned. So all that has to be green. So like your bank details and other things, all has to be green. Once it is green, then you will be able to create catalog and upload your products. There will be existing catalogs. So if your product matches that, you can select that. So you don't need to upload all the specifications. So And then once you have uploaded, then chances are there you will get direct orders. And also the bids in that particular category in which you have uploaded your product, you will be notified about that bid through SMS and through email notification. So any bid, for example, you have uploaded in the category of furniture, and somebody wants to buy some furniture, some government body or PSU, then you will be notified of that bid, and you can participate in that bid. You see the list of bids over there. All these bids are there here. So you see, you can filter by a different type of products, everything. And let me go back to the home page and show you what is the important significance of this GEM portal. First of all, if the product is available on GEM, then that particular department, government department buyer, they have to buy through GEM only. They cannot buy elsewhere directly. So see why you should choose GEM, because so far 32,28,928 products are there on GEM. This is for buyer. So many products are available, and total value of orders transaction through GEM is 4,40,811 crore. So this much seller service provider. So the thing is, it is an integrated payment system. So once you buy on GEM, within 15 days of supply of your goods, you get your payment, and the amount is blocked before placing the order. I'm placing an order, for example, for a computer or a laptop for 1 lakh rupees. I have to block that 1 lakh rupees from my account and then place the order. So once I accept the goods and issue a certificate, consignee receipt acceptance certificate, it means goods are standard, then the payment will be cleared within 15 days. And it is completely, everything is there. Invoice, everything is generated online. You don't have to have any other invoicing system. Completely online. You just have to dispatch your product. You have to take care of the shipping. And GEM portal charges 0.5% of the transaction value. That is a GEM's commission. So once it is paid, that 0.5% is. There is also a caution money. When you create the account as a seller, you have to deposit a caution money of 5,000 rupees. So in case you are promising to supply the products and you are not supplying it, then that is from your caution money, it is deducted. So that is there, and that is GEM portal. This is the number of GEM business facilitators. So if you have any problem in uploading on GEM, then you can contact Mr. Ravi Verma. He's a designated GEM facilitator for Telangana. This is mobile number. So now trade receivable discounting system. So this is through an RBI circular. This was conceived. So there are 3 platforms which offer this. rxil.in over here at the last line, you can see, and then m1exchange.com, and then invoicemama.com. So what it is, basically all central public sector enterprises and any corporate body having turnover of more than 500 crore, they are required to be on board on TREDS portal, TREDS, TREDS portal, which is Trade Receivables E-Discounting System. And what happens is, as an MSME seller, for example, you are supplying to Reliance or some other corporate buyer, big corporate buyer, Mahindra and Mahindra, Maruti, you are ancillary company and you are supplying to them, or a PSU, any PSU, irrespective of its turnover, supplying to them. Then the work order issued to you by that buyer, you can upload on this RXL portal, whichever portal that buyer is on, and they have to be on this one of this portal. Then what happens against their account, that will be showing, and they have to accept that whether they have issued the work order or reject it. Once they accept it, then that entire work order that is transferred on this portal. And then once you have dispatched the goods and services, then you invoice your client. You have to upload that invoice on the RXL portal. Then it is that particular buyer have to accept or reject the invoice, citing reason if they are rejecting it. So once they accept it, then within 45 days, they have to do the payment. If they don't do the payment, then you can take the payment for the onboarded banks. So there are also banks on this portal. Besides these buyers, MSMEs, there are also banks onboarded this portal. So you have the option to take the money through the banks. So, so you can take the money even before 45 days. If you have a requirement for money, you can take from the bank, and there will be auction, reverse auction by bank, and they will quote their commission fee. And whoever quotes the minimum commission fee, you can choose that bank, and you can take the money from the bank, and then you are out of that order transaction. You are out of the transaction, and the bank will take the money from the buyer, from your buyer. So against your receivables, what you are due to receive from your buyer, they will give you money. It's not a loan. You take the money, you are out of the transaction, and the money which has to be deposited in your account will be deposited to the escrow account, which bank will take. This commission, will be charged to you. So, for example, you are due 1 crore, so bank will charge the commission. For example, it is 1% and pay you only 99 lakhs. So that is there. If you want the money before 45 days, if after 45 days, then this commission will be borne by the buyer. So that is the advantage, so you get the money, and you don't need to even wait for 45 days, and you can use that money in your business. You will avoid delayed payment if you're online. So this is the process which I explained. So, benefit, you can see collateral free for finance. So basically, it's collateral free finance means it's not a finance. You don't have to repay it. The buyer, out of your receivables, that money will be taken. Collateral is against the receivables. So this is our office address. So you can note it down, and if you have any query, you can contact us. So this ends the MSME scheme policies. I would like to go to the next slide. So any queries so far?
Yes, sir. One question in the chat box.
In the chat
What
box,
are
yes.
the responsibility of the host institutions? If the college or the institution is connected with the MSME as an incubation center, what will be the responsibility of that host institution?
Okay, great. So yes, so the responsibility of the host institution is to provide the technical expertise. So whenever any product is being incubated, two aspects to it. One is funding, and the other thing is, one more question is there, I'll answer after this. So the other thing is the technical expertise to develop the product. So the entrepreneur may not have the necessary technical expertise, not only technical, marketing and other things, so testing of that product, developing a prototype of that product, so the responsibility of the host institution lies there, so because why we are empaneling engineering institution, because they have the expertise, faculties, they have equipment, lab equipment, testing equipment, if they don't have, then government of India is providing funding of 1 crore. So using that, they should be able to assist the entrepreneur in the technical guidance, while the government of India will fund 15 lakh for that idea. So that is the response. The other question I received in chat from Shaina is, what is the possibility for startup in the area of semiconductor electronic devices in circuit? So semiconductor electronic devices in circuit, there is one thing, fabrication. Fabrication means a huge amount of investment. I think that is not possible, for a startup. Even big investors, Ambani, Adani, they have not started yet. Tata, they have not started fabrication. So it's very tight market, and volume is required in that, and technology is required. Fabrication, I don't think, but designing, yes. Designing is possible if you are using microcontrollers which are available, FPGAs which are available, then you can start. But designing, you can do embedded and this thing, using FPGA, using microcontroller, embedded programming, or Verilog VHDL, you can do that. But so that is there. Creativity also always have a scope if you are creative, you have a new solution, and then you have to design the code for it, use available FPGA, and you can manufacture that PCB. But semiconductor level fabrication is, I don't think it's possible, because a huge investment is and a lot of risk is there in that. So because there are already established semiconductor factories, so competing them is a challenge. Yes. So any other question?
Sir, as you said, there is a GEM e-market portal is available.
Yes,
Is that portal anyone like a common person also can able to purchase there with any discount or something like that?
no, no,
Instead
no.
of
That is
directly purchase, only for government, sir?
only for government. Even because on GEM prices are available, products are available at a discounted price. Even sometimes we want to buy. Like for example, I purchased Ertiga car through GEM portal. I got it for around 6.6 lakh. And actual cost is around 9-10 lakhs, so but even we cannot buy it, but it is only for government, and you buy directly from OEM. We directly purchased from Maruti factory at Gurugram. So it's only, but as a seller, even if you are not an MSME, you are a trader, you have a shop and you are selling, you can sell on GEM.
Sir, there is one more question in the chat box.
Yeah. Quantum dot cellular automate nanotechnology. Quantum dot cellular automate nanotechnology. Cellular means it has to do with mobile communication. I don't understand.
Okay,
QCA
sir.
nanotechnology. Yes.
Okay, sir, would be clear the question. What are the possibility of the startup in QCA?
Nanotechnology in VLSI.
It is related to VLSI technology.
So you mean to say this is manufacturing? It is in fabrication using nanotechnology to reduce the size of the chip. If it is something like that, then possibility is there, definitely. But the amount of investment in that and the necessary technology, it's one thing, to have the technical information in paper. Other thing to practically implement it, because there are various technical know-how aspects, which are, when you are implementing it, you need to know it, So unless you are from that field, you are already doing it, because if it is not already existing QCA and it is only a paper and not implemented, then you would require to improvise, while implementing, based on the existing techniques, while implementing, because implementing will be a new thing. So it will be difficult if you have not in the industry. So I think it is very low, because normally what startups do, they manage the business. They have an idea and they assemble the team. So when you are doing a startup, when you are managing a business, it's not about the technical aspect of the business, because for taking care of technology, you will be hiring experts, So you will be managing the business, because either you be an innovator or you be an entrepreneur, because you have to focus, what you can be an R&D company continuously doing R&D, but not managing a business, because managing a business requires full of even your entire time 24 is not sufficient. That is why you need to hire the people. Low power circuit design. Tie-ups with relevant. Okay. Yes, thank you. So low power circuit design, you mean to say chip consuming low power? See, these all things, are you can have technical papers on it, and if you are expert in that subject, and then you can have tie-up with existing companies. What you can do, we have this NRDC is there, at Vizag one, NRDC is there, National Research Development Corporation. So they do technology transfer. So once you have, instead of publishing paper, you make it a commercial patent application. And once you have the patent, then you can license it to companies. What is IBM? IBM owns a lot of patent. It is not into manufacturing anymore. So it is doing R&D, and then it licenses its technology to various companies. It earns revenue out of that. So you can be, if what you can do is, see, if you come up with just 1-2 solid items, then you are not R&D company. You have to continuously come up. For that, you need a team. If you gather a team, you can make a company out of it, an R&D company which is continuously innovating. So you need to be aware of what is. See, there is one innovation which is good for as a paper, and there is another innovation which has commercial value. So if you are focusing on those innovation which have commercial value, so definitely there is monetary gains to the economical benefit. It will contribute, not only to personal your economy, but also to the GDP of the country. So in that case, you should patent it, and you should go for licensing it. Even MSMEs, a lot of MSMEs, they are R&D MSMEs, and they are licensing their technology, especially in pharma. There are a lot of companies, pharma MSMEs, which are not manufacturing, but only making formulations, and getting new patents and licensing those, and they earn their revenue. So it depends upon your team. See, actually, what is the business? A business is the core team. Yeah, it's the human capital you are there. Remaining things, think there are surplus, but human capital is the core of the business, heart of the business, your team. So that makes your business successful or a failure. So.
Sir, one more question from my side. Sir, as an MSME host incubation center, institutions or the engineering colleges, can we able to organize some conferences or workshops? Can we get funding with MSME for the incubation center?
I think so. You will be able to through partner organization, because you are already a registered society.
Yes, sir.
And you can apply. And the thing is about approval, chances of approval. You will get approval because you are already empaneled. So you are associated with a Ministry of MSME. So you can apply that, under partner organization, and you can apply for, it is under PMS scheme, partner organization, you can apply for a event. Awareness program, you can apply for that and you can get.
From participants, any questions, please?
And at present, PMS nodal officer is Mr. Srinivas in our office. He sits in the ground floor, so you can also approach him once you have submitted the online application. You can approach him, follow up with him, and he will guide you further on this.
Okay, sir.
I am IPR nodal officer. I can also guide you on IPR.
Okay.
And these things. So one is online application. After the online application, it is important to follow up with that particular nodal officer.
Okay.
Because what happens, they process the application and this forward it to our head office for the funding.
Okay. If no questions from the participants, I am very much thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time and in your busy schedule. You are literally flooded with a lot of information related to MSME, and every scheme was crystal clear for us as a participants. And all the schemes were clearly explained. I expect some of the schemes will be definitely been taken by our participants also in the near future, and they can even give all this information to the student community so that they can come up with a product like Make in India concept. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
for your
one more thing.
If
I can get additional 5 minutes, I quickly
yes, sir,
like to cover a few things. I just missed out.
Okay, sir, no problem.
Yes, forms of businesses. I would like to tell the forms of businesses. Once you start a startup, it is necessary you incorporate the company, because there is it is a very risky venture. So proprietorship is a small business you start. You can go with that without any paper. You can start without any registration. Just GST is enough. Then there is a private limited company, a formal company with multiple directors. It is preferred by investors. All these registered company on the right side are preferred by investor. Limited liability partnership is there. LLP, OPC is there. What is the difference? Proprietorship, you can have any name. It doesn't need to be unique. For private limited, LLP, and OPC company, unique name is given by ROC, Registrar of Companies, and the suffix will be there. Private limited, and LLP. So what happens, when you start any big company, it is essential to get the domain name, website, and the trademark registered. Because later on it will be difficult. Once you are registering it, the trademark, you are assured that you are not infringing anybody else's trademark. So that is the other side of registering the trademark. So company registration, so no formal registration, GST and is enough for proprietorship. Partnership, you have need to have a registered deed agreement. And for private limited MCA, you have to do registration. So all these private limited LLP, OPC, there are some compliances you have to do. Registration is with MCA. You can take the help of a CA, or online services are there. India Filings, Vakil Search, they do it. They prepare the MOU, memorandum of articles. They prepare, and this is about the legal status and liabilities. So all this right side, private limited, LLP, OPC, the liabilities limited, it is a separate entity in the eyes of law, whereas in proprietorship and partnership, it is not a separate entity. It is there is unlimited liability. So all the assets and liabilities are of the proprietor, particular business of the proprietor. But in case of this limited companies, it is separate entity. Assets and liabilities of the company are separate from the individual directors. So this is there. So so this private limited LLP, OPC, they continue to survive beyond the lifetime of the director, whereas the proprietorship cease to exist with the death of the proprietor and or partner. One person is proprietorship, more than one person is partnership. So it is there. So the form, so annual audit and capital amount is required in case of a registered company. No guidelines, for proprietorship and partnership companies. So that is there. Initially, you can start with proprietorship, but once you are growing, you have to convert it to this limited liability company to keep yourself safe. So that is their approximate cost of starting the business. Mentioned over here, proprietorship 2,000, one person company 10,000, private limited company is 15,000 ultimately. So that is there. And one more thing is there which I want to share is, one slide was there, a step-by-step guide to the for starting a business, but I don't think that is relevant today. Those step-by-step guide, so that is a step-by-step guide. It was conceived by our ministry for small businesses, but it's not relevant. So that is it. I hope I'm able to cover everything. And thank you very much for inviting me over here. Yes, ma'am, you can take off.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful time with us, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
thank all the
thank you,
participants who patiently listened.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all, my dear participants, for your active participation. For this event, we will continue the same decorum for the next session. Let us all join by 12.